If you think our planet Earth is scary, then just wait until you hear these 5 scary facts about space that will give you chills. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be taking a journey through the galaxy to learn some frightening facts about space that will send shivers down your spine. From terrifying black holes to mysterious rogue planets, we'll cover all of it. So buckle up and get ready for an intergalactic adventure filled with danger and mystery. Just kidding. There's no seatbelts in space. Okay, let's start this scary space journey. Fact number 1. Black holes can rip apart entire stars. A black hole is one of the scariest phenomena in the universe. These massive objects have such strong gravitational pull that not even light can escape their grasp. But did you know that black holes can also tear apart entire stars? It's true. As a star approaches a black hole, the gravity becomes so intense that it pulls the star apart into a thin stream of gas and dust. This process is known as spaghettification, due to the star being stretched out like spaghetti. Now you know why you shouldn't play too close to a black hole. In fact, there's more to this phenomenon than meets the eye. When a star is torn apart by a black hole, its outer layer is pulled away from its core. The core remains intact but is now exposed to the harsh environment of space. Without the protection of its outer layer, the core of the star can no longer produce energy, and it begins to collapse in on itself. As it collapses, it forms a new compact object known as a neutron star, or a white dwarf depending on its mass. This process of a star being torn apart and its core collapsing in on itself is a rare but fascinating event that has been observed by astronomers in recent years. For example, in 2018, researchers captured the first ever image of a black hole and its surroundings. The image revealed a bright ring of light surrounding the black hole, which was created by material that had been pulled from a star and was heated to extreme temperatures. Fact number 2. Space is completely silent. If you've ever watched a space movie, then you've probably heard the iconic sound of spaceships flying through the galaxy and astronauts talking to each other while floating in zero gravity. However, this is just Hollywood fiction. In reality, space is completely silent and sound cannot travel there. Sound waves are vibrations that travel through a medium such as air, water, or solids. However, space is a vacuum, meaning it is devoid of any matter. Without a medium to vibrate, sound cannot travel. In fact, even if you were to shout at the top of your lungs in space, no one would be able to hear you. Not only that, but you wouldn't be able to hear anything at all. Silence would be the only sound in space. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is this medium that sound needs to travel through? Well, it's called a sound wave. A sound wave is a vibration that travels through a medium such as air, water, or solids. When you speak, your vocal cords vibrate, producing sound waves that travel through the air and reach our ears. However, space is a vacuum, meaning it is almost entirely empty of matter. For sound to travel, there needs to be a medium to vibrate. In the absence of a medium, sound cannot travel. This is why astronauts in space cannot hear anything unless they are using a communication system to transmit and receive sound waves. Fact 3. There are rogue planets drifting through space with no sun. Planets in the solar system orbit around the sun, but what happens when a planet gets kicked out of its planetary system? These are known as rogue planets, and they are more common than you might think. Astronomers believe that there are more rogue planets in the universe than planets that orbit stars. Rogue planets are typically gas giants or ice giants that have been ejected from their planetary systems due to gravitational perturbations caused by other planets or stars. While most rogue planets remain hidden, scientists have discovered several candidates by observing their gravitational microlensing effect on background stars. They are difficult to study since they do not emit any light, but researchers are working on developing new technologies to detect and characterize these mysterious worlds. The discovery of rogue planets has raised many questions about the possibility of life beyond Earth. Could these planets support life despite the lack of sunlight? Are there other forces at play that make them habitable? These are just a few of the questions that scientists are working to answer. For example, in 2019, astronomers discovered a rogue planet named Wolf-Rayet 1b that has a strong magnetic field and an atmosphere containing sodium and potassium. This suggests that the planet could have a liquid water ocean, which is a key ingredient for life as we know it. Researchers are now working on studying the planet's atmosphere in greater detail to search for signs of life. Another interesting aspect of rogue planets is their potential to be used as a future home for humans. Some scientists believe that with the right technology, we could terraform a rogue planet to make it suitable for human life. However, this is just speculation, and it's unclear whether such a project would be feasible or ethical. Overall, rogue planets are a fascinating and mysterious part of our universe that continues to captivate scientists and space enthusiasts alike. Fact number 4. On some planets, it rains glass and diamonds. While it may seem like a scene from a science fiction movie, it's actually a real phenomenon that occurs on certain planets and moons in our solar system. Let's start with the largest gas giant in the solar system, Jupiter. One of its moons, Europa, is a prime candidate for hosting life despite the lack of sunlight. Europa's surface is covered in a layer of ice that is constantly being replenished by volcanic activity. The ice crystals that form on the surface are blown away by winds reaching speeds of up to 90 miles per hour. These winds carry the ice crystals away from the equator and towards the poles, where they eventually fall back to the surface in the form of snow or glass rain. Similarly, Saturn's moon Enceladus also has a layer of ice on its surface that is blown away by strong winds. However, on Enceladus, the ice crystals are carried by hydrothermal vents located near the moon's south pole. These vents release water vapor and organic molecules into space, creating a thin atmosphere and allowing for the formation of clouds. As the clouds cool, they release their moisture in the form of rain, snow, or glass. Now, if you don't want to go to Europa or Enceladus, you could always try visiting Neptune's moon Triton. Triton has a retrograde orbit, meaning it orbits its planet in the opposite direction to Neptune's rotation. This makes it a likely candidate for a captured dwarf planet. Triton's surface is mostly composed of nitrogen ice, which can also be blown away by strong winds. As the ice crystals rise into Triton's thin atmosphere, they can reach temperatures of up to 700 degrees Fahrenheit. At these high temperatures, the nitrogen ice condenses and falls back to the surface in the form of glass rain. But wait, there's more. Earth isn't immune to this phenomenon either. During the early stages of Earth's formation, the planet was bombarded by asteroids and comets, leaving behind a layer of debris. This debris eventually condensed and fell to the surface in the form of glass rain. In fact, some of the oldest pieces of glass found on Earth date back to the planet's formation over 4 billion years ago. Fact number 5. The universe will eventually end in darkness. Imagine a vast, unending darkness enveloping the entire universe, extinguishing all light and heat sources. This may seem like a scene from a horror movie, but it is actually the predicted fate of our universe according to scientific theories. The heat death of the universe is a concept that has both fascinated and terrified humans throughout history. As the universe expands, everything would eventually drift apart, stars would die out, and the temperature of the universe would approach absolute zero. This would mean the end of all life and the beginning of eternal darkness. So how does the heat death of the universe happen? According to the laws of thermodynamics, entropy wins every time. As the universe continues to expand, the amount of usable energy available to stars will decrease, leading to their eventual death. Without the energy needed to sustain themselves, stars will go out one by one, plunging the universe into darkness. Even black holes, which are the most dense and compact objects in the universe, will eventually evaporate through a process called Hawking radiation. As the universe enters a state of maximum entropy, everything will be evenly distributed and no new processes will occur. It will become impossible to create new stars or planets, and the cycle of life and death will come to a halt. The only thing left would be the faint remnants of dead stars and the whisper of a dying universe. However, some scientists believe that the heat death of the universe may not be the end. They theorize that the universe could collapse in on itself and begin again in a new cycle of creation and destruction. Only time will tell what the ultimate fate of the universe will be. Well, that's all for today, my fellow space cadets. We hope you enjoyed learning about some of the scariest facts about space that will give you chills. Remember, even though space can be a scary place, it's also full of wonder and beauty. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join us on our mission to explore the unknown. and discover the secrets of the universe. Until next time, keep looking up.